Good afternoon. I'm George Herbig, Chief Forecaster, here with Weather Now Kentucky, and our wall-to-wall coverage of this afternoon's severe weather in Kentucky has begun here. We do have our first severe thunderstorm warning issued, and I expect that this will pick up over the next couple of hours throughout portions of the state. Before I do get started here, of course, I'm going to mention this a lot, and I want you guys to help me out with this today. We just spent the entire morning updated you on the forecast for today. So in this broadcast, we're more so going to focus on the actual impact areas, as we always do with these nowcast broadcast type of events. So again, I want to focus on the impactful areas. We spent the entire morning updating you on the forecast, given in graph form and in post form, as well as video form. So all that information is on our Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. So I ask that you go look at those things. Let me refresh my Facebook browser real quickly. For some reason, that's just stalling out. I think I might have to switch off of Google Chrome. I've been having a lot of issues with Chrome lately. A lot. Again, I will get into all of that, guys. Let me go ahead and get kind of an overview here. I will briefly touch on the forecast for today so we can kind of get a general overall look at everything here. Again, as we're coming into the broadcast, if you would not mind, tap the share button on the bottom portion of your screen there. Share this video on your newsfeed so that way someone that may need the broadcast can view it. And I do thank you for your help with that. Let's go ahead and show you what's actually happening out here in Russell Springs, Kentucky, where we do have a severe thunderstorm warning with a tornado possible tag on it. This is one I've been watching for the last 15 minutes or so. It's been trying to spin this entire time. Hasn't been able to quite get there. But again, this is going to be for Russell County, northern Cumberland County, southeastern Casey County, and southeastern Adair counties out there in southeastern Kentucky and south central Kentucky. Again, more specifically, the peak of the storm is just to the west of Russell Springs. There will be in central Russell Springs in about 7 to 8 minutes. Honey Acre, Horntown, Whittle, Jamestown, Bethel Ridge, Dunville, again, all under that severe thunderstorm warning. Columbia in that severe warning as well, but the worst of it is already passing you. Back out here to Glasgow, we have another cell that may be going severe here soon. Where again, we've been kind of watching this little spike up here just to the east of Glasgow. So for Glasgow specifically, the worst of that line is already past you. But for Edmonton, just a heads up, this may go severe warned as well. And this is going to be the case. So this is probably one of the simplest forecasts we've had in a long time. So listen up here. Let me go ahead and draw. Actually, I'll just go ahead and pull out the watch because I think the watch is perfectly placed. By the way, for those of you that were asking if I expect to see this expanded, I do not. I think this is perfectly placed. I could not make any complaints about this at all. These are the only areas in pink where I expect to see any type of elevated severe risk. All right. Everywhere else, we could see a couple of random severe warnings, mainly for 60-mile/hour. I would guess maybe for some small hail. But the front is actually right here. So you can kind of see where the front is. The lower side of this line of storms, that's the only portion of these storms that should be severe. That's it. Now, the north of this line, you're going to see substantial, life-threatening amounts of rainfall. And that is not a hyperbole. That is a substantial amount of rainfall that's going to occur along this line and to the points north there. So that's why if you see in our post that we just put on Facebook and Twitter just a few moments ago, if you haven't already, go ahead and go look at that. There are flash flood warnings out. There are flood warnings out. There are flash flood watches and flood watches out. So go ahead and take a look at that and you'll find out. But again, I think the only area that has a real severe risk today is this pink area. Again, I cannot rule out a couple of random severe warnings elsewhere, but again, those won't be anything life-threatening or dangerous because the actual front where the main energy is really at is central over this pink area. I think this is a really well done tornado watch. It does not include Bowling Green. It will never include Bowling Green, in my opinion, as that front has already pushed to the east of Warren County. So once again, this is going to be for Cumberland, Hazard, Jackson, Boonville, Manchester, Harlan, Hyden, Buckhorn, Barberville, Pineville, Middlesboro, Williamsburg, London, Corbin, Annville, McKee, Livingston, Mount Vernon, Broadhead, Stanford, Crab Orchard, Houstonville, Eubank, Science Hill, Somerset, Burnside, Monticello, Albany, Jamestown, Russell Springs, Liberty, Columbia, Burkesville, Edmonton, Somerset, Tompkinsville, Fountain Run, and Scottsville, as well as Franklin. Again, those are your areas that are in that pink tornado watch today. And there could potentially be a couple of lines that develop here, so I cannot give an all clear after this one line. Just know this watch goes all the way until 11 p.m. Eastern Time. If you did not hear your name or your city name or any city that's near you in that list that I just rambled off there, you do not have a severe risk for today. George, we're tired. I know you are too. I'm exhausted. I'm exhausted. Yes, there is a slight rotation on this cell in Columbia. It looked a little bit stronger earlier. It doesn't look nearly as strong now. Is this the same storm that hit us last night? No, this is a renewed part of the line. But the problem is we're going to keep seeing these lines fire up over the next 3 to 4 days, and that's why we have a severe risk almost every day in Kentucky until Saturday night. And so just a very, very long stretch here. Again, the time frame is anywhere between now and 11 p.m. Eastern time, folks. That's going to be your answer. I'm not going to get more specific than that, mainly because, again, we do see the potential for repeated rounds of this same line here, of the same areas, I should say. So I'm not going to get into specific on time frames because there could be repetition to this line. There could be repeated renewals. So we don't want to give you any type of false time window and not have it be accurate. I want to thank everybody that's sharing the broadcast. I appreciate you guys doing your part, helping us out with sharing the broadcast. Thank you so much for helping us to spread the information out. Oh, I guess Steven clipped that. Jared, thank you, Carolyn. Thank you, Stephanie, Jamie, Angela, Joy, everyone else. There's so many names. Thank you guys for sharing the broadcast. Again, I appreciate you guys doing your part there. There is some slight rotation really showing up now. I wouldn't be surprised to see a tornado warning come out if this strengthens up a little bit more just to the southwest of Russellville, or Russell Springs. Let me rephrase that, Russell Springs. Once again, some slight rotation there. Wouldn't be too surprised to see a tornado warning get put out if that strengthens up a little bit more. And again, that would head right into Russell Springs along Highway 127 there. Yes, you're still going to see storm activity through even after 11 p.m. I want to tell you guys right now, unfortunately, I have some bad news. The rain and thunderstorms are not going to stop until Sunday night. Now, you're not going to see every second up until then rain and thunderstorm, but off and on for the majority of the next 96 hours, you are going to see thunder showers. All right, that's just how it's going to be. So that's why there's really no big time frame on everything, because it's just going to be constant. Erica, thank you. I appreciate that. Again, University of Kentucky is not included in the tornado watch. I think the only severe risk tonight is in the tornado watch area. And we just listed off all those cities. Also, we have posted the tornado watch as well. If you want to look at that with a little more clarity and zoom in, see who's included, who's not included, that's already posted on our Twitter and Facebook as well. Charles, good afternoon to you, my friend. The C. What do you mean by CD? Are you talking about CC, Caitlin? Correlation coefficient. We're probably not going to use that a whole lot, because these storms are going to be in that radar gap for pretty much all day. So that's the bad part about down here. We got a big radar gap. So probably won't look at correlation too much. Again, just because of that situation there. But yes, when it's needed, I will pull that up. No, again, if you are not included in the tornado watch, you do not have a severe risk today. Again, I can't rule out a couple of random severe warnings, but those will mainly just be for 60-mile-per-hour wind gust or some small hail. If you do not have a tornado watch on you right now, I do not expect this to be expanded. We are probably just rolling with this area. Again, here is that area, by the way. I'll leave it on the map for just a second. If you do not see your name in purple, again, you are not included in that watch. I'm trying to fit it all in there while leaving the... Wish I could put that gate up a little bit higher there. Again, this has also been posted on our Twitter and Facebook if you want to look at that with more clarity and be able to zoom in a little bit more. The purple is the tornado watch. This is the only place in Kentucky that I see any real severe threat today. Everywhere else, I do not really see a severe threat, but I do see life-threatening flash flooding and life-threatening flooding to occur. So you still have something to worry about today. And I know a lot of folks are going to hear that and say, well, it's just rain. We don't have anything to really worry about, but we saw 27 lives lost last month just to flooding alone. So once again, I do want to be able to touch on that quite a bit today. I'll change that camera. That camera's got a lot of rain on. Let's change that camera over real quickly. No, my window capture's not working. Let me fix that. There we go. Now we got WeatherWise up right there. We're going to switch this camera on over to a different camera that's maybe not so... That almost looks like snow bouncing off there, but it's obviously rain. Okay, so this is... So for you folks in LaRue County, this camera looking at the McDonald's, this is north, right? I can't ever remember. What would you recommend if you get flooded and aren't able to get to a shelter? Always, flood is a lot different, is the exact opposite from tornado. Tornado, you obviously want to get as low as you can. Flood, you want to get as high as you can. So just think of getting high, not that way. Getting as high as you possibly can, away from the ground. Again, the only severe threat I see tonight, throughout this afternoon, tonight at all in Kentucky, is in this current purple area. This could expand out toward Pikeville and Prestonsburg and Williamson, but that's about it. Outside of that, I don't really see that. And there's that severe warning for Edmonton we warned may be coming here soon. Again, this is for 60-mile-per-hour wind gust and a tornado possible tag on this as well. This is going to be for Greene, Russell, Taylor, Barron, Adair, and Metcalfe counties down there in south central Kentucky. All right, we'll turn the watch off for now, folks, because I feel like we touched base on that quite a bit, as well as that's already been posted on our page on both Twitter and Facebook. So if you want to look at that further, you absolutely can do that there. This might have to go tornado warned. Edmonton, this is not tornado warned right now, but I want you to get in your safe spot. Gradyville, get in your safe spot. Portland, get in your safe spot. And then beyond that, if this can continue on, Columbia would be needing to prepare their safe shelter area as well. Again, this is not tornado warned right now, but you can see some clear indications of rotation there. And we do have some correlations starting to be showing up. Not exactly as intense or confined as we like to see, but there's definitely some slight rotation occurring just to the northwest of Edmonton, Kentucky right now. This is not tornado warned, but there is a tornado possible tag on it. I have to imagine if we see one or two more scans that look like this, that we'll probably see a warning come out for that. Again, right now, these are the only two areas right now under the immediate gun, so we're going to leave this zoomed in right here. Thank you for keeping us updated. I appreciate that. Thank you guys again for all your shares, all of your likes. That helps us to spread the forecast information out and this video out. I do thank you once again for all that support and effort there. Sharice, thank you for sharing the stream. Vicky, thank you for sharing the stream. Raz, thank you. Tanya, everyone else, thank you guys very much. I appreciate that. Yeah, I imagine this is probably going to go tornado warned within the next 2 minutes. Again, this is just north of Edmonton, heading toward Cork, Keltner, Portland, Milltown, Haskingville. Again, nice, solid indication of rotation showing up there. And we are starting to get some correlation drops returning to the radar. Again, not as precise as we usually see with tornado cells, but it is starting to get that early look to it. You can see the difference right here, side by side. Russell Springs, that's a very clear indication of downburst winds. That's a good severe thunderstorm warning. Over here, this is a very clear indication toward Edmonton of rotation occurring. I did not expect this watch to expand at this time. Thank you, Mike, if you can hear my voice, by the way. The only place I expect that watch to maybe expand in the future is quite literally just Prestonsburg, Williamson, Pikeville, Wheelwright. That's the only place I think that this could expand to, and even that's kind of questionable at this point. George, did you get any sleep? Thanks for everything you are doing for us right now. Aaron, I got a couple of hours. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate you and all your support at Right Implement. Again, yeah, I got a couple of hours from about 6 to 8 a.m. I'm running off of coffee and caffeine pills. Alan says they used a bouncy house air motor to blowing on to the cameras to always keep them clean while filming lightning from storms. Works like a magic trick. I never even thought about that. I gotta take a picture of your comment and send it to Cam, who's the guy that owns these cameras. Susie, thank you for your $5 donation. I appreciate that. She says, sun's trying to peek out through in West Laurel County. Thanks for your dedication. Thank you for that report there. I'm actually kind of surprised this is not tornado warned right now. Let's check from the Tennessee radar. Let's check from Eastern Kentucky. Yeah, I mean, it's close. We're going to keep watching this. I'm really surprised it's not tornado warned. I imagine if it goes one more scan looking like this, you'll probably see a purple box start to show up. Again, Again, I do only expect the severe risks to be in the tornado watch areas. Again, that map of those areas has been posted to our Facebook and Twitter. You can go check that out to view that at any point. I do not expect that to be expanded. Let's look at the StormNet AI. The StormNet AI is trying to pick up on a brief tornado threat right where that cell is. I know it's very hard to see, but it is trying to pick up on a tornado threat for right where that cell is down there in Edmonton. So again, all indications are this might be a rotating storm just to the north of Edmonton, approaching the Highway 68 area. That severe warning toward Russell Springs has been trimmed off. This is now just for Russell and Casey counties out there, just for the east portions of Russell Springs, heading out toward Labascus, Argyle, and Bethel Ridge. Again, the main cell right now, in my opinion, is just one north of Edmonton. Like I said, I imagine if we see one more scan with that level of rotation there, we might see that go warned. Sorry, I sent that text to the Cam who owns those cameras that were seen there via telecast communications, and I sent that Alan. I sent your comment to him, and he said I wonder how we would do that 300 feet in the air. I said a bunch of zip ties and a big old extension cord. Elsie says, will the storm be as bad as last night? The threat level is not as high as last night, but we can still see a couple of strong tornadoes down there in that tornado watch area. Storm's very close to being tornadic. Hopefully this rotation goes back down. You can move the map on my own. Yeah, I've done that a couple times in the past. Like we've mentioned for Edmonton, there is rotation just to the north of Edmonton. Not exactly in Edmonton, but the rotation is to your north. In Edmonton, you're probably seeing some 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts there. Are you live on YouTube? I am live on YouTube. Weather Now - Kentucky, or you could go to the search bar and type in at WNKWX, at symbol WNKWX will come right up. Kayla, since we're heading into the afternoon hours, these storms are strengthening. Ashley, thank you very much. I'm glad we were able to be here for you. Again, Somerset is in that tornado watch until 11 p.m. Eastern time. Make sure that you're paying attention to forecast throughout the day. Lexington's not in that tornado watch area. You do not have to worry about severe weather, but you do have to watch out for flooding. Once again, guys, I really only expect the severe risk to be in that purple tornado watch area. We have that map posted to our Facebook and Twitter if you want to go view it at any point. Lindsay, thank you for your $5 donation on YouTube. I appreciate that. Sorry, I had to turn my ringer down a little bit. Well, that subway is trying to come back up. Okay, I do want to go ahead and put that watch back up for just a moment here so you folks can look at it. I'll read off the city names. If you do not hear your city name, you're not, or one that's obviously close to you, you're not at a severe threat. Franklin, Scottsville, Fountain Run, Tompkinsville, Summershade, Edmonton, Glasgow, Highsville, Cave City, Park City, Columbia, Burkesville, Marylebone, Jamestown, Albany, Monticello, Somerset, Science Hill, Eubank, Liberty, Houstonville, McKinney, Stanford, Crab Orchard, Broadhead, Mount Vernon, Livingston, Daniel Boone National Forest, Williamsburg, Barberville, Corbin, London, Manchester, Pineville, Middlesboro, Pathfork, I don't know how to pronounce that name right there, but Island City, Annville, McKees, Sandgap, Vincent, Boonville, Beattyville, Jackson, Buckhorn, Hyndman, Hardshell, Elm Rock, Hazard, I already said Hyden, Colwood, Harlan, Everts, Cumberland, Daisy, Whitesburg, Millstone, Jenkins, Blackie, Hyndman, Pippa Passes, just to the outside of Will right there. If you did not hear your name there, or obviously a town that represents your area a little bit closer, you are not at a severe threat, but you do obviously still have the flooding and flash flooding to worry about throughout the entire day going into tomorrow. Get purple areas only tonight, folks. Purple areas only tonight. Again, this threat can go all the way until 11 p.m. Eastern time. That's when the watch ends. Candace, no. Okay, let's go ahead and take that watch off. By the way, that watch, once again, has been posted to our page on both Facebook and Twitter. You can go look at that whenever you would like. I kind of can't believe this isn't tornado warning. I mean, they've issued tornado warnings for less indications. I kind of can't believe that's not tornado warning. Science Hill, Northern Somerset, Eubank, you are now included in a severe thunderstorm warning for 60-mile-per-hour wind gust and a tornado possible tag on that cell there. That's going to be for the cell that's in Russell Springs right now. Okay, Sid, I will check that out. By the way, if you have photos or videos, you can message those to us on our Facebook. Message that to us on our messenger there. I think from Port Columbia. I am going to show these on the broadcast too. I hate that I can't. Can I maybe open? Let me try. I'm gonna try something a little bit different real quickly. Because I want to be able to. I want to be able to blow up the videos, but you can't do that on the business site. Patsy, no, but you do have flash flooding and flooding to worry about in Bowling Green. I want to see if I can maybe pull this up on the oh, it's going to immediately pull up the business suite anyway. No way, dude. I hate that because you can't view the videos. Let me try this. Let me try this. I'm trying something, guys. Because I want to be able to blow up your guys' videos, but it won't let me do it. What in the world? Yeah, it's only gonna let me pull it up in the business suite. That really stinks. I can't blow up the videos. I have to watch them in little form. Very nice wall cloud. A very nice structure on this cell. That's severe warning in Edmonton heading toward Columbia. That is a massive wall cloud, but it does indicate a severe storm. Look at that. That's a great video, Sid Jr. Ross. You guys can't even see it. Oh my goodness. Sorry about that. I'll play this again. Again, this is for the tornado warning cell. Here, let me do this. No, I can't do that, actually. This is the one that's heading toward Columbia, Kentucky right now from Edmonton. That's a phenomenal structure on that storm there. It does indicate a well-matured storm. Again, we are only covering the folks that are under immediate threat. I saw someone asking about Glasgow. There's no immediate threat right there, right now. Click on the video, maybe. I tried that. Maybe, you know what I could try? Hang on. I have an idea. What if I open the video in a separate browser? And it's not going to let me do that, I don't think. Goodness gracious, dude. I hate that I can't blow that up, man. I just hate that. Again, Glasgow's not under any immediate threat, folks. Under that trend to watch at 11 p.m. Eastern Time. And we do know that this cell right here, thanks to that video from Sid Jr., does have a very nice structure on it. I didn't really see any funnel clouds or anything like that on there. This one in Edmonton is stretching out toward Columbia. And again, I'm kind of surprised this is not tornado warned at this point. We're seeing some very nice rotation on that. Yes, DJ, and once again, those folks that are not included in that tornado watch do not have a severe threat today. You should know if you're included in a tornado watch because your smartphone will tell you automatically. Stella or Jennifer with the $50 donation. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much for that. That was very kind. Thank you very much. And then Sam with a $20 donation on YouTube says, thank you and your team for all that you do. You are greatly appreciated in this house. I appreciate that, Sam. Thank you so much. Yeah, Cheshire, that storm is absolutely rotating a little bit. Make sure you're staying in your safe spot there. Yes, Chris, there is rotation heading toward Columbia right now. Does Liberty need to take shelter or not at this point? I will let you guys know. Ashland, Kentucky, no severe threat there. Again, if you're not included in that watch, folks, you're not under a severe threat, but you do have to look out for flooding and flash flooding throughout the entire day, tonight, and going into tomorrow. Again, we have the tornado watch posted on our page. If you're not included in those purple shaded areas, you're not under a severe risk today. Thank you, Rachel. I appreciate that. Rachel and Eric, by the way. Gotta refresh. Why is my live producer not updating automatically? I gotta fix this Chrome stuff. Thank you guys again for all of your shares on the broadcast and all of your likes. I do appreciate that. Seeing all those come through. Thank you guys very much. That rotation does look like it's starting to strengthen up a little bit. Again, I'm really surprised this has not been tornado warned. That's not what oh, this is what I want to look at. Lots of wind shear out there today, folks. Yeah, lots of wind shear, lots of helicity. What's the Cape look like? Not as great, but we saw that with all, we only needed about 200 last night in order for those storms to spin. With all the wind energy that we have at play, there is plenty. Yeah, this storm is in a really good spot right now. Patsy, no problem. That's what we're here for, my friend. What about Oak Grove? Once again, if you're not included in that watch, you're not at a severe risk. You are not included in that watch, Oak Grove. Stanford, Kentucky, I believe, is included in that tornado watch. Make sure that you're paying attention to the forecast until 11 p.m. Eastern Time. I'm gonna be quite frank with you guys. I don't have the voice to keep answering the backyard questions. So please go look at that map that we posted to our Twitter and Facebook. Again, you'll know if you're in a tornado watch, if you are in pink or purple, whatever color you want to call that. Again, we do have an update to this. This is now just for Greene, Russell, Taylor, and Adair counties. Again, for this severe storm here, producing 60-mile-per-hour wind gust and a tornado possible tag is on this storm. Yeah, I want to reiterate once more. I will cover this one more time, and then we're going to stop covering it for a little while. If you are in this tornado watch, you have a risk today for severe weather. If you are not, you do not have any risk for severe weather today. You might still see some brief wind gusts up to 55 mile per hour, maybe a straight severe warning for that, but other than that, no real severe risk today. It's really just in these purple areas. That's it, folks. That's it. And this map has been posted to our Twitter and Facebook. So places like Radcliffe, places like Bardstown, places like Lexington, Elizabethtown, Louisville, Bowling Green, Madisonville, Paducah, no severe risk today. Again, you do have to be on the lookout for flash flooding and flooding potential throughout tonight, the overnight hours, as this rain continues to just pour buckets of rain down on our Commonwealth. But as far as tornadoes and large hail and stuff like that, you do not have to worry about that. Yes, Marlena, again, Louisa not in that watch, just regular thunderstorms tonight. After this, I'm going to start covering just the immediate areas, folks. Again, just these areas. Just these areas of purple. So Horse Cave, not in that watch. Campbellsville, not in that watch. Greensburg, not in that watch. So on and so forth. Again, the tornado watch does go into 11 p.m. Eastern time. We cannot give more specific time frames for that because we're going to have repeated training lines set up that are going to continuously carry severe risk in this pink zone. So we cannot give too much more specific on the time frame there. I can just tell you the watch goes until 11 p.m. Eastern time. Yes, Jackson, Kentucky is included in that watch, so you need to be paying attention to the forecast throughout the afternoon and evening. Again, this map is posted on our Twitter and Facebook. If you cannot see your city name, find the city that's closest to you that you can see. That's my best piece of advice for you. Where would I go to see all the documented warnings from yesterday? Probably just the National Weather Service previous storm reports and stuff like that. It's the easiest way to do that. Severe storm right now is out of Edmonton. All right. I think we've had enough of that. Again, this map is posted on our page. Once again, we'll reiterate for one final time. If you are not in this pink zone, you are not at a severe risk today for tornadoes or large hail. Again, you might still see some wind gust. It might be a little bit tough to deal with. But again, as far as tornadoes and all that good stuff, you're not really looking at that threat today. But you do have to look out for flash flooding and flooding. Yes, the severe storm is out of Edmonton. I will not be live all day and night, but I will be live whilst we have at least a couple of severe warnings to worry about. Again, I gotta get some relaxed time at some point. I mean, of course, I will still watch for you guys, but we really only triggered the live broadcast for immediate like life threatening threats. We try to do that so you guys know when we're live, it's go time. I mean, thank you very much. I appreciate that. No rotation to Edmonton. Once again, has moved out of Edmonton. Again, the watch area goes to 11 p.m. Eastern time. Exotic. Miranda, that's just where that's just where the watches overlap. It doesn't mean anything at all. Up to visually impaired people, Teresa, I have mentioned all the cities included in the watch 3 times now. What is your city or your county? I can help you out. That's okay, Caitlin. Have you slept yet? Yeah, I slept for a couple of hours between 6 to 8 a.m. So, Pumpkin Queen, in order to get the radar to come up on WeatherWise, you have to see these blue dots. Do you see blue dots on your radar, Pumpkin Queen? What a name, by the way. Again, guys, for those of you just now tuning in, please go to our Facebook and Twitter. You'll see the Tornado Watch map. On that Tornado Watch map, only the areas in pink or purple, whatever color you want to call that, those are the only areas that have a severe risk. A Braves went back there with the Reds. Probably not. Cecilia is not included in that Tornado Watch. No severe risk tonight, but look out for flash flooding and flooding. Yes, I do. Okay, so what you need to do is for wherever you're closest to, for example, let's say you're in Elizabethtown, for example, you would click this radar up here. So this is my map right now. These are your radar sites. So whatever you're closest to is that blue dot that you hit there. So again, if I go for Clarksville, I can turn on that radar there. Now I see all that there. These are high resolution radars, so they only go out a little bit. This is way better radar than what you can get from AccuWeather, Weather Underground, Weather Channel, whatever radar you guys use on your apps on your phones. This is way better. The only difference is this only goes out so far, so you can turn that off and go to a different one. Go to a different one. Basically, you just click these dots and it turns the radar on for you. And again, you get to very, very specific, very accurate radar. All right, Ryuki, thank you very much. I appreciate that, my friend. You are not under a tornado watch in Bowling Green. Girard County, if you are under that tornado watch, you do have to watch for severe weather until 11 p.m. Eastern Time. No problem, Pumpkin Queen. Thank you very much for asking. What radar is this? This is WeatherWise. You can go to weatherwise.app to download the radar on your phone. Go to weatherwise.app in your mobile browser, and you can download it to your phone or use it in the browser. I want to give a quick shout out to our other sponsors as well, Hyper Roofing, who donated the generator to us yesterday, so we don't lose power at all for you guys. So thank you to Hyper Roofing for that. Also, if you are in or around Hardin County and you have any roof damage at all, make sure you visit Hyper Roofing to get that estimate for free. And of course, they'll work with your insurance companies. And of course, make sure you let them know we sent you. FBI Buildings for the pole barn repairs and renovations. That's a phenomenal company that's now branching it into Kentucky with a rich history of quality work. So thank you to FBI Buildings. Go to FBIbuildings.com for a free estimate, right implement for those folks down there. Over 15 locations throughout Kentucky. Make sure you go visit them for any of your farming equipment, outdoor equipment, or any of your needs in that type of industry. Thank you to Right Implement as well. So I know we give WeatherWise a lot of love, so I want to make sure I mention our other sponsors that allow us to be here for you guys 24/7. So thank you to all of them. Hopefully we can get some big thank yous in the chat for all of our sponsors because again, those are the companies, those are the people that allow us to be here for you guys 24/7. Sarah, we've been watching that for a little bit there. It is a severe thunderstorm at the moment, producing 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts, some slight, very broad rotation. Not necessarily indicative of a tornado, but indicative of a nice burst of wind. Science Hill, this storm is now moving into your area, just to the north of Somerset there. Again, for Science Hill and the Eubank, you're going to have some 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts there, along with some heavy rainfall. Yeah, exotic. What was that app again? It's called WeatherWise.app. You go to WeatherWise.app in your Safari or Chrome browser, or whatever on your phone there. Go to WeatherWise.app. It'll bring you right there to an option to be able to download the app into your phone. Thank you, Ursula. I always like to show them some love because again, they're the reason we can do what we can do for you guys. Right now, we do have two current severe thunderstorm warnings active for your boxes in yellow here. Eubank to Science Hill, whatever in the world that name is. B-Lick, Pongo, Shopville, Dabney, Norwood. Again, just to the north of Somerset there. I don't think it's going to actually hit Somerset by the way it's looking right now. Columbia to Christine, Neatsville, Dunbar Hill, Craycraft, another severe thunderstorm warning there. Those are your only two warnings right now. Again, this bottom corner of the state is the only area that we expect to see severe weather today. Okay, that's from Scottsville to Middlesboro to Elkhorn City to Pikeville to Prestonsburg to Jackson, Broadhead, Sand Gap, Liberty, Columbia. That's the only corner right there that we expect to see severe weather today. Thank you, Kayla, for doing that. I appreciate that. How you doing, Bluegrass Acres? Carolyn, the flood threat for down there in far southeastern Kentucky is not as great as it is everywhere else, but we can still expect to see minor flooding down there. I didn't even know that was a thing. What in the world did Justin just do? He typed exclamation point notify to get notifications whenever we go live. I didn't even know that was a thing. How do you see the storms on the map for Laurel County? Again, make sure these are your radar towers in blue right here, folks. So if you are using WeatherWise, make sure you click a radar tower to activate it. And again, wherever you're closest to, click that closest radar, and that will activate the storms. If you want to keep moving around and kind of look at other places, you can just click different radar towers. For example, if I want to go look over here in Kansas, in Wichita, Kansas, for some reason, I can see the radar tower there. And again, this is a higher resolution radar, so that's why you have to manually enable it because it says a very HD look at what you're looking at for storms. Karen, if you are in that tornado watch, you do have the severe threat. If you are not, I do not expect to see that expanded. No, this was not going to be a PDS type of setup, no. I didn't know you could do, Justin, look what you started. I didn't know you could either. Did it just pop up for you or something? Thank you, Jeremy, for that comment there. I appreciate that. Let me know. Thank you. The radar is weatherwise.app. Go to your browser, type in weatherwise.app. It'll give you a prompt to download the radar, and you can follow along here with us. The coolest thing about this radar, too, is I can't talk too much about it. You see me kind of smiling here. But you look down here in Nashville in Tennessee where you see all these cameras. And you can actually look in the app, if you turn it on, by the way. If it's not on already, you're going to have a little 3-line somewhere on your mobile phone right there. You're going to turn on has cams right here. And this is going to be able to view, you're going to actually be able to view now. Right now, there's not really many has cams or any has cams at all in Kentucky, but hopefully we can get that to change soon. But for example, down here in Tennessee, you can actually watch this storm as it comes in. Now, of course, that camera's pointed right at a hotel building for some reason. That doesn't make much sense to me. Maybe this one's a little bit, yeah, so we actually see that storm come in if we were in Tennessee. That's another cool thing about the radar there. And like I said, hopefully we can bring that to Kentucky. We are working on it. If you do want that to be brought to Kentucky, make sure you have your emergency management offices and directors reach out to me so we can work on that. What was this question? Severe thunderstorm warning has been expanded into Mount Vernon, Livingston, and Broadhead again for 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts there. Chastity, we do not know. And unfortunately, guys, the National Weather Service out of Louisville issued a statement today making mention that they cannot complete storm surveys right now as they usually would due to low staffing levels and having to exaggerate all efforts from staffing levels to cover the flood and severe threats. So again, we likely will not know the extent of damages or surveys until probably next weekend. And then again, of course, by then things may have changed. So that kind of sucks, to be honest with you. But there's not much they can do about it. It's out of their hands. Where is there a tornado shelter in Moorhead? Again, that would be something you have to contact your local emergency offices about. I'm so confused why we are under a tornado watch if the radar showing everything going north of us. Again, because you have to have some context. So back out here in Tennessee, this stuff is going to cover the southern portion of the line. Right now, this is going north, but you still have this stuff back out here in Tennessee. It's going to come through later on. Storms are moving east-northeast, mainly east, but with a little bit of a north wiggle. Thank you, Jane. I appreciate that. Does that give you any good idea of winds toward and away from the radar to get an idea of rotation? Yeah, if you just go down here to you go down to your little box down here in the bottom left. Now this will look different, a little bit different on your mobile app. But again, you just click the box, open it up, and you got all different things you can look at here, and always have little question marks that you can look at as well to view what they might mean. Again, you can just hit that question mark, and it'll kind of tell you what they mean. So yes, this radar has everything. Yes, there are thunderstorms in Crab Orchard. Those are non-severe. Yeah, because there's a little bit of rotation there, Blitzkrieg in Columbia, so that rain is going to be a bit enhanced. Grace, yeah, I don't know where Walker, Kentucky is. If you can give me the county, I can try to help you out a little bit, my friend. But also just know this, if you are in a tornado watch, you do have risk for severe weather until 11 p.m. Eastern Time. If you are not, there is no risk for severe weather. Update on flash flood warning in Kentucky. Again, we expect that flash flooding and flooding to occur and increase throughout the afternoon and evening, especially by late tonight, going into the overnight hours. Make sure that you are off the roadways if you can by sunset, because flash flooding and flooding becomes incredibly dangerous after the sun goes down. Is tomorrow going to be like today? Yes, we will continue to have severe risk until Sunday. Columbia, Kentucky has now been canceled from that severe thunderstorm warning. Just a strong thunderstorm at the moment in Columbia. Dwayne, no, you are not included in that watch. You do not have a severe risk, my friend. Severe thunderstorm warning has now gone up out here toward Prestonsburg, Dwell, Martin, Betsy Lane for a severe thunderstorm there. And this storm line does look like it's blowing out on some good winds there. Let's go turn up the tilt a little bit. Yeah. Not rotating at the moment, but this could try to strengthen up here once again for Prestonsburg, Martin, and there it is, a nice strengthen up right there. This is going to be for 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts. This is going to be for Martin, Knott, Floyd, Breathitt, Pike, McGoffin counties out there in eastern Kentucky for Prestonsburg, Hoe Run Village to Pikeville, Wayland. And then we do see some nice wind gusts occurring out here in far eastern Kentucky, again, for that warning box there. So we have 2 warning boxes at the moment, folks. Elizabeth, no, you are not included in that tornado watch. You do not really have that much of a severe risk tonight. Yes, Kelly, those storms will come to Murray in Tennessee, but they will only bring a nice rainfall risk, nice, maybe some light wind gusts along with it. No severe risk for you. Or Lake Mississippi, we do not cover Mississippi or whatever that is, my friend. Mississippi or Missouri, whichever one that is. Mississippi. We do not cover that. We only cover Kentucky, folks. Thank you to everyone that's sharing the broadcast. I appreciate your help with that. Seen all kinds of shares come through. Thank you very much. How much rain is Kentucky supposed to get? By the time this is all said and done on Sunday night, going into Monday morning, a widespread 5 to 8 inches of rainfall is likely for the majority of Kentucky, with some places exceeding those numbers. Going to reach Corbin. Again, all I can really tell you is that the threat goes until 11 p.m. Eastern time tonight. Obviously, your storms are back out there in western Tennessee. It's going to be a while until it gets to you, probably a few hours. Another severe warning has gone up. This is going to be once again for South Columbia going to Russell Springs. Go and check the warning there. We do have some slight rotation occurring out here. This is going to be for 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts, 1-inch diameter hail. A tornado possible tag is on it as well. This is going to be for Russell, Cumberland, Adair, and Metcalfe counties in south central Kentucky. Let's go ahead and I want to look at the reflectivity here. Yeah, we have a nice. This is probably a decent hail core occurring here. Let's check the integrated liquid. Yes, we do have a decent hail core occurring here. So once again, heads up for east of Edmonton, not including Edmonton, for Breeding, Flatwood, Sparksville, Toria, Glens Fork, Montpelier, Russell Springs, Jamestown, Bryan, Craycraft, Columbia. Once again, 1-inch diameter hail, 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts, the main threat there. As of right now, I don't see any rotation at anywhere at the moment. Yes, the yellows indicate severe thunderstorm warnings, folks. I do not see any rotation anywhere at the moment, Tara. Again, Caitlin, the watch goes to 11 p.m. Eastern time for the watch areas. Courtney McKinley, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Yeah, WeatherWise is pretty awesome. Again, wind gusts could go up to 65 mile per hour tonight, some of the harder cells. Again, if you are in that watch, my friend, for McKee, Kentucky, all modes of severe weather are possible until 11 p.m. Eastern time. Yes, we do still expect a severe risk through Saturday, folks. Wendy, this is WeatherWise.app. You can go to your browser, type in WeatherWise.app, and you can find a download option there for your mobile devices. Renee, thank you very much. David, no, Ashland will not be under tornado threat today. Grace in Kentucky, if you're in that watch, of course, make sure you're watching until 11 p.m. Eastern time. All modes of severe weather are possible. Billy, just kind of watch me over time. I mean, like I've done on each broadcast. I break down a little bit. Eventually, when things calm down, I do want to make a video explaining how all this works and how to operate the radar. We just haven't had the moment to really do so. I've been wanting to do that since January, and it feels like every time I go to do it, I have another severe threat or a winter threat to monitor. Cheshire, all of these alerts right now are for 60-mile-per-hour wind gust, 1-inch diameter hail, and tornado possible tags on all of these. URL weatherwise.app. You'll see it scrolling in the sponsor section in the bottom left there in a second. Vasco is in that watch till 11 p.m. Eastern time. Make sure you're staying tuned to forecasting information. Yeah, Justin, I'm going to make a whole video on that eventually because that's going to take more dedication than being able to just mention it here. You're talking about the mesoscale analysis. Yeah, that's going to take a lot of explanation on that. It's taken me years to learn everything, and of course, I'm still learning. Just quite frankly, I mean, because I never stop learning. I think when you stop learning, that's when you start to fall behind in your craft. So I always try to stay on top of things. Constant refreshers, constant learning new things that are coming out. A 12-pack of fish fillet for this week? Oh my goodness, no. You all want to know the craziest comment? By the way, I just thought of this. So we got a message last night. I read it this morning about 5 a.m. This is the most wild thing I've ever seen in my life. So you guys look behind me. You see a daybed is there, right? This is what I use for whenever we have a moment of things calming down. I put the radar on the big TV right here. I lay there on the daybed, just kind of relax for a couple minutes in between broadcasts, whatever it might be, right? Someone sent me a message last night, told me it gave them creeper vibes and that they could not watch me because it creeped them out so bad. I'm like, oh my goodness. Have you guys never seen a daybed? Like what? Like someone, yeah, they said that it would creep them out because I was doing the forecasting from my bedroom. This is not my bedroom. This is just my little office area at home here. That's all. That's all it is. But I could not believe that when I saw that message that came through. I could not believe that when I saw that this morning. I was like, "What in the world for a daybed?" She said, "I guess I'll just go watch Brian Hall because he has a real setup." And I was like, "Okay." I do the entitlement of a lot of folks is insane. She sent me a link to like a green screen. It was like, hey, you should probably do this so you don't give off such creeper vibes. If I didn't delete and ban her, I would have showed you guys the DM without her name on it. But man, that I saw that this morning. I was just giggling so hard. Man, I was giggling so hard. Again, I don't know why I just thought of that off the top of my head, but she messaged me at some point last night on the weather page, and I saw it this morning. I was giggling so hard because it's like, what do you want me to do here, guys? I can't sit here in this chair all day. Like sitting here is fine, but when you're talking for 8 hours, it's quite exhausting. So sometimes I do want to just go back and lay down on the daybed there for 20 minutes, watch the radar up on the big screen, have our other little resources on the bottom monitors here, and again, I saw that message and I was like, what in the world? His broadcasts are so busy they're hard to follow. Yeah, a little bit. I do agree with that. I do love Ryan Hall though because again, I think he's probably one of the big pillar of changes. And I like that he's always wanting to work together with folks. Instead of always in competition, like these classic broadcast outlets that you see on TV, they're always talking bad about people like Ryan, people like Max, people like me. They've not watched it. Then yeah, I don't know. Again, it was. I saw that message come through this morning. I'm like, what in the world? Out of all the things you can complain about in life, you're complaining about my day bed. Like, I think it was a great investment because I didn't really know what to do back there. I didn't really know what to do back there because I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I'm gonna tell you guys something I've never told anybody in this broadcast before. Okay, back there, that back there, it's actually a jacuzzi tub. Okay, now we've disconnected all the water to it, and it would have cost us a lot of money to take it out. We would have had to do all kinds of new flooring, all that stuff, right? So what we did, we had our contractor dude, Marcus, who's that dude that can do anything. He built a structure that's capable of holding up to 600 pounds inside of that bathtub, framed it out completely, made it to where it's nice and flat. And then we put a day bed on top of it. So like it was. I saw that and I'm like, I thought that was a creative way to cover that up. Because would you rather have seen a day bed back there or a jacuzzi tub? And I don't know why there's a jacuzzi tub in here. It's the most random thing in the world. We have an old house, and I guess they just did weird things back then. And I so we've been trying to cover it up, and I thought that was a creative way to cover it up. I mean, I could have left the jacuzzi tub there. I think that would have been more. I think that would have been creepier. Tub for sure. Yeah, do we never even used it? Like it's just like this was a bedroom, and it had just a random jacuzzi tub in it that we just I haven't seen it ever used. All right, I do want to. Someone said there was a potential tornado watch coming out up here to the north. Let me investigate. No, there's not. I do want to check back in, make sure we don't see any velocities rotations here. Just want to make sure. No. Again, that's so. A lot of people might be confused by this. This is not rotation right here. This is a downburst. See how it's nice and flat, nice even lines there. That's a downburst of winds. No, no. Okay, so no rotations anywhere at the moment. These are all 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts, severe thunderstorms in your yellow boxes. The news posted it. If you can, send me that on Facebook toward our messenger, and I'll try to investigate it for you. But as of right now, I'm not seeing anything about potential expansions of a watch. And quite frankly, there's just way too much rain up here. Way too much rain up here. Lisa, thank you. I appreciate that. I think, by the way, just to clear things up here, but secrets out. He's in a hotel. No, I wish. But and I think at some point in the future, maybe if I get lucky, I do want to build like an actual building that's for an office area, a full studio and all that. But right now, hey, we're just trying to make it out here. I'm just like you guys. We're just trying to make it out here. Um, but no, but just to clear it up again, I love Ryan. I love Max. I do think Max has that very robotic voice that I just can't do. That those classic broadcast meteorologists can do. I just can't. I think that I can't do that. I couldn't do that even if I tried. But he's great. I love his effort and his energy. Ryan's always a calm voice in the middle of everything. Uh, but yeah, I agree. Those are great people, man. I don't at this moment foresee that watch expanding northward. No, again, just even the latest data. Let me go ahead and look at the latest data, just in case I'm missing something. I don't want to put my foot in the mouth here. Let's look at the latest data with everybody. Again, there's no dangerous storms right now. They're all 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts. Of course, they are severe. Those are not life threatening. All right, hang on. I'm just doing some quick glance analysis is what I call it. No, that watch is not coming north. The only spot I could see potentially added to this watch, and I'm kind of surprised that they didn't add, is Bowling Green. That's the only spot that I'm kind of, and again, these far eastern Kentucky corners right here. So That would be Williamson, Prestonsburg, Pikeville, where we do see that severe warning there now. Wheelwright, Elkhorn City, that's not included in that watch, which I'm kind of surprised they didn't just include it to finish out Kentucky there. And then Bowling Green. That's the only spot where those are the only 5 cities that I think could be added to it, arguably. But I mean, even that's just it's kind of hit and miss, folks. This is what's wrong with our system. There's no one. What are you talking about, my friend? Thank you, Justin. Have you used the generator yet? No, I just got that yesterday. And luckily we didn't have to use it. What's the difference in the dark purple and the light purple on your tornado watch? There's no difference in it. It's just where the watches have overlap from different broadcast offices, from different NWS offices. So that's just a radar rendering it a slightly different color because they're overlapping. But there's no difference in it. I'm gonna go turn the AC up because it's hot in here. 1 second. Tornado watch Margie. Open the window. No, then we're gonna even let even more humidity in here. It's freaking humid out there. Severe thunderstorm warning for Prestonsburg has been renewed. It's going to be for 60-mile-per-hour wind gust. Again, this is going to be for Prestonsburg, Dwell, Martin, Betsy Lane, Coal Run Village. Again, we do have severe warnings out here for Mount Vernon, Broadhead, Livingston, as well, exiting Science Hill. And then over here, heading toward Russell Springs and Jamestown, just south of Columbia. Again, those are where your current severe warnings are at. What's the weather looking like for tomorrow? We'll get to that probably tomorrow. Again, with incredible systems like this, I will update you guys first thing each morning on what that day ahead looks like. With trying to get too far ahead, it's going to confuse a lot of folks. Leah, I appreciate that, my friend. Thank you so much. That's a good way to do that. What's up, Bubba? Margie, I said Bowling Green could have been added to that tornado watch, but it's very borderline. So here's a new discussion that just came out from the National Weather Service. And again, it's really only highlighting these same areas we've been talking about over and over and over again as really the only severe threat right now in Kentucky. Again, this could change later on tonight where it drops a little bit more to the south, toward the Kentucky-Tennessee border. But again, it's highlighting in red. This is the only area that we're seeing for severe risks. I don't see any rotation at this moment, no. It does look like a casket. Yes, it does. There is no tornado warning. No, Amber. Lexington's not at a severe risk tonight. Mainly just looking at flash flooding and flooding like you see in green there. You're in London heading back to E-Town. Get ready to drive through a lot of rain, my friend. What in the world? Oh, Justin, thank you for becoming oh my goodness, becoming a subscriber on Facebook. I appreciate that, my friend. Thank you so much. This is not the same storm line from last night. No, this is just a redevelopment. Yeah, I should have left earlier. Yeah, I would say that's probably probably would have been a good idea. Laura, you're right on the borderline of severe weather in Bowling Green. It could go 50-50, but at the least you will still continue to see strong thunderstorms and flash flooding and flooding risks. No, none of these storms have any rotation on them. Let me go ahead and check one more time. Okay, some nice wind gusts are occurring from Russell Springs to Jamestown, but no real rotation there on that one. No rotation over here, but some nice wind gusts occurring from Mount Vernon and Livingston, going to cross over the I-75 corridor there. Over here to Prestonsburg, Dwell, Martin. Again, no rotation on this one either. Does look like some nice wind gusts are occurring there. So right now, kind of everything looks like straight line winds at the moment. Again, that could change, and if it does, I will let you know. Right now, all these cells look like straight line winds and maybe a little bit of hail. 0%, Courtney. Henry, I appreciate that, my friend. Yeah, you all got to remember too. Ryan Hall covers the entire nation, right? So, obviously, we're gonna have a little bit more of Kentucky focus because all we focus on is Kentucky. That's why I always tell you guys, if you do follow one of those national outlets like that, make sure you follow something local as well. You don't have to choose one or the other, but you can tune into both there. As long as it's not the Weather Channel, do not follow the Weather Channel. Hey, Mr. W and K, my phone keeps dying. Can you get me a new one? What in the world? Williamsburg is in that tornado watch till 11 p.m. Eastern time. Your window will open up later. BG's not included in that watch, but going to be on the borderline of the watch area. Just keep a loose eye out for now. Yeah, Damon, you're going to see a lot of rainfall over there, my friend. Get ready for lots of rainfall over the next 72 hours out there in Western Kentucky. Again, Shelly, right now we're not seeing any rotation with anything at the moment. There is no reason to be scared, my friend. I will let you guys know. Hope you got some rest. It was a long one last night. Yeah, I got about two, maybe 2.5 hours. How are you feeling today, George? Like we're pushing through. Like we're pushing through. No, Mount Sterling is not included in that tornado watch. What are they thinking for severe for tomorrow? Williamsburg, I just answered that. I said you're in that tornado watch until 11 p.m. Eastern time. Make sure you're paying attention to the forecast for details. But as for tomorrow and throughout the next few days, guys, again, at the top of each morning, I will let you guys know what to expect for that day. Usually, I would love to give you guys more of a heads up, but we're dealing with several rounds of this stuff. I don't like to go in the future at all because then you're going to confuse the details between the days. So, again, we do have that severe risk for tonight, of course, as well as Friday night, as well as Saturday night. Lori, I appreciate that, my friend. J Rod, no problem, my friend. For Muhlenberg today, no. Richmond is not included in that tornado watch, I do not believe. Again, so no real severe risk for you today. You're above the front. And you can clearly see where the front is, guys. So all this rain that you're seeing on the backside, no severe risk there. You just have too much rainfall today. Just too much. And again, you can see below, south of that front there, that's where your more aggressive cells are located. Campbellsville is not included in that tornado watch. Brandenburg and Meade County is not in that watch. And I do not expect this watch to be expanded. Not at this point. Scottsville's in that watch until 11 p.m. Eastern Time. Make sure you're paying attention to forecasting information for all modes of severe weather being possible. There you go, Michael. How about Corbin once again in that watch 11 p.m. Eastern time? Again, guys, you're gonna see the same answer. If you're in that watch, you have a severe risk. If you're not in that watch, you do not have a severe risk. You will know if you're in a watch because your smartphone will automatically tell you if you are in a watch or not. Kathy, it's not likely, but it's also not a 0% chance. And again, even the severe risk area tonight, folks, is not as aggressive as the severe risk that we had yesterday. So again, just to reiterate that point as well, the severe risk that we have today and tonight is not nearly as aggressive as the severe risk that we had yesterday. By the way, look what I just noticed on that camera up in LaRue County. Look off to the right there. Got all that ponding starting to occur. Chris, thank you very much, my friend. I appreciate you. Yeah, that's a nice little cell right there. It's not really doing anything super aggressive, but definitely got some nice wind gusts to it. And I bet you that's packing a punch of rain. Maybe even some light hail with that as well. E-Town's not in that watch. No severe threat tonight. Lots of rain though tonight, guys. Flash flooding and flooding are still going to be risks. Thank you, Cassandra. In your opinion, what was the worst severe threat? Was it yesterday or still to come? Yesterday was absolutely the worst severe threat for our area. And then next up would probably be Saturday for Western Kentucky once again. I think that's an area once again where we could see some more activity occurring on Saturday. As for tonight, again, it's for southeastern Kentucky and south central Kentucky. And again, this tonight looks like the lowest, the second lowest. Friday night looks like the lowest threat. No storms are tornadic right now. Do want to check on the cell in Burkesville though? No, it's not doing anything. No. 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 Okay, no rotation right now anywhere. I am seeing some nice downburst of winds on all these cells though, so still looking out for 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts being your main threats for a lot of folks. Kara, I cannot project that, my friend. And I gotta respond to this message real quickly if you guys do not mind. Give me just one moment. 1 second. It's Mount Vernon. You are under that severe warning there, so that's why you're hearing all that noise. Again, that severe warning has been canceled for Mount Vernon at the moment. We'll see if that's reissued here soon. But that warning has been canceled. Only 2 warnings now for Jamestown, Kentucky, going toward Russell Springs, and for Prestonsburg, Kentucky, for Dwell. Does also include Pikeville and Co. Run, but that is obviously going to be missed. This line is heading to the north of those areas. So only 2 severe warnings at the moment. Did you have a video of Red River across from home? All right, Rhonda, I got you. I will look at that. And a little bit. Elizabeth, for what area, my friend? Once again, we do have severe thunderstorm warnings for Russell, Casey, and Adair counties. This warning for Mount Vernon and Livingston, or this area in Mount Vernon and Livingston, was previously severe warned. It is not severe warned any longer. Out here for Martin, Floyd, Breathitt, Pike, and McGoffin counties still have that severe warning there. 60-mile-per-hour wind gust and small hail, the main threats right now. That warning has been updated. Is there a way to watch the radar on WeatherWise for the future? There is not. And quite frankly, I'm glad that there's not, because future radar is such a scam. They will eventually have model data on there, though, so you can look at model data that goes into the future, and that's a much better option. But that's not out yet. That hopefully may come in the future, according to some of their tweets. Yeah, Fleming County, Kentucky is not included in that watch. No severe threat tonight. Just lots and lots of rain. Again, that's Selling, Bowling Green, and Russellville are very clearly non-severe. Does anyone know, has Kentucky ever seen anything stronger than an EF3? Yes, multiple times, KSP. 83-mile marker off of I-65. I've not seen that yet. I haven't gotten a chance to really look around yet. Every time I get to go do something, I have a freaking tornado warning or severe thunderstorm warning come out. Every time, last couple of days. Storms allowed at Bowling Green, that is probably correct. I'm sure there's lots of lightning ongoing, but those are non-severe storms right now in Bowling Green. As you can tell, quite frankly, it's just a bunch of rain. The lightning that you're probably hearing is on the western side of Bowling Green. We do have a new severe warning for Burkesville, Kentucky. This is going to be for Clinton, Russell, and Cumberland counties for the next 26 minutes in this location. Again, for Burkesville to Erin to Creelsboro, Watauga, and 76. Thank you, Blair. I appreciate that. Flash flooding warnings are never safe to drive through. Make sure you check in your route before you go. Yeah, April. I got about a couple of hours of sleep this morning between 6 to 8 a.m. Yes, Lawrence County is non-severe. Look down here. Nothing in Nashville. Here. Okay, at this point, guys, I think I'm going to take a break. Again, we do have some severe warnings here. They're all kind of borderline severe warnings, though, for 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts. I don't see anything life-threatening at the moment. And I want to take advantage of this moment. Just take a little bit of a break before things maybe get a little bit stronger here later on this afternoon and evening. Hope you guys understand. Again, right now there's no imminent threats to life. There are no tornado warnings active anywhere in the country at the moment. And again, if there is anything that becomes an imminent threat to life or you, I will come back live on the broadcast and be here with you guys. But for now, I just want to take a little bit of a break here. I really want to go take a shower. I really want to go take a shower. That's how I kind of refresh. So thank you guys again for tuning in to us. There's no real threats here. These cells will continue to drift off to the east. Once again, I wanted to reiterate, go to our Facebook and Twitter pages. You can see there, if you are in purple, you are under a tornado watch until 11 p.m. Eastern time. If you are not in purple, you do not have a watch, and you likely not have a severe risk for today. Again, everyone is at risk for flash flooding and flooding risk throughout the day, but that's basically our main thrust today. This is not going to be anything like yesterday. So once again, wanted to reiterate that. Ashland, Kentucky, not in that watch. All right, so thank you guys again. I appreciate you guys a lot. If we are needed again, we will be back live on the broadcast here with you guys. At this point, though, I think it's a good time to go ahead and take a little bit of a break. Until next time, I'm George Herbig, Chief Forecaster here with Weather Now Kentucky. Thank you so much.